baptism of fire as captain in terms of the NRL anyway?
Yeah, I haven't really, looked at it like that or thought too much about it. It's just more about, what I can control in terms of making sure I play well on Friday night. And, we've had a really good pre-season, so it's about, really capturing that and taking that into the season. And, things are going to build, things are going to take time, but as long as we're putting in effort and working hard for each other, then that's a good sign.
Have you tried to kind of just remain true to yourself the way you're preparing and in the practice games when you've been the captain? Has anything changed there? Or?
Yeah, nothing changes, and I think I sort of knew that from the start when I was made captain. We got a very strong leadership group who all bring a lot to the table, and all of our strengths are different. So it's just about leaning on each other when we need to. And in terms of the game, it's just I go out there and do my job. Hughesy, he's the halfback. He predominantly runs the team, so that's where he steps up. And then you got the other leaders like Paps and Kingy, Tui, Munster that you can just lean on to play their own role, play to their strengths, and bring their strengths to the team. And in saying that, our whole team are great leaders within themselves. So I think everyone's just leading themselves to play well on Friday night.
If Cam doesn't play, I mean, he's been injured for a while, hasn't he? So it's not like it'll be too unsettling. Is that right, that Jonah's been sort of training there and ready to step in?
Yeah, I think he's just heartlage, Cam. I think maybe needs a bit more time off. Got 2 kids now, so he might be doing his head in a bit. But I think, Pez has done a really good job of being patient, and he could potentially be a starting player at a number of other clubs, but he committed to our club and wants to keep learning and keep developing his game. So I think that's a really pleasing sign, and I think he's been really patient. So if he does get his opportunity, then I'm sure he'll be ready to take it.
Is there anyone you want to sort of model your captaincy game off? Is there anyone you're sort of looking up to that you want to try and be like? Or?
Nah, not at all. I think I haven't really given it too much thought, to be fair. It's nothing really too much has changed or will change. A little bit more ownership, and you got to do a coin toss in the middle of your warm-up. But for me, I think, and for me and for the club, we do it pretty well where we look to others to learn, and we've had some pretty good role models to learn off, especially my time here at the Melbourne Storm. And you can look back at last year learning off Joel Selwood. It's completely different code, but a great leader in himself. So, I think we've been pretty lucky to lean on a whole heap of different leaders. So, try and just take a bit from each person and put it into your own game.
What have you learnt under Daly Cherry Evans and the Maroons? And
Chaz has been massive to learn off, and just breath of fresh air really with getting to know Daly as a person and the way he prepares and plays. And I think with all good leaders, just good people that work hard. That's number one for me. But Chaz he's very strict on his preparation. Like, that's his priority, and he knows that. But also he understands other people's strengths within the team, and similar to what I said before, leans on them. So I think we've got that within our group, and it's just sort of unlocking each other's potential.
Just on that, Cam Smith stepping away from his assistant role, how much are you going to miss him in the Origin arena?
Yeah, massive. Miss him. Sure, what he's done for Queensland as a player and now as a coach, and to be able to have him there to lean on, and brings so much confidence to the group. But in saying that, he's left the team in a pretty good spot, and Matty Ballin gets that opportunity. But I guess Queensland can cross that bridge when it comes, because there's a fair bit of footy to be played before then. And I definitely not really thinking about Origin at the moment. I just want to play good for the Storm, and really focused in on Friday night.
How do you see that challenge against the Panthers? Obviously, they've been the benchmark for a few years now.
Yeah, exactly that. It's a challenge. They've been at top of the table for a number of years, and that's because they're consistent at what they do, and they're ruthless with it. So, like I said, we've done a lot of work in the pre-season, so we can take a lot of confidence out of that. But yeah, time will tell. We've got to put that into an 80-minute performance, and there's no better test than the premiers 3 times in a row. So see how we go.
Do you think this will be Craig's last year?
You'll have to ask him. Yeah, I don't know personally. I think he's still got a whole heap to give to our group, and we're pretty lucky that we've maintained a group from last season that hasn't really. We haven't had too many players leave, so we're pretty fortunate in that sense, and that's probably the first time, if you look back in Melbourne Storm's history, where not too many experienced players have left. But I think Craig's done a huge job with our group, especially the last sort of 18 months, given that was a completely fresh and inexperienced group last year, and then carried that through the pre-season this year. So I'm just really looking forward to the season ahead, and what that combination from last year can build into.
So it's just signed on for, I think, another 5 years. Christian just told us, I think he's the 5th Victorian to play for the Storm. Christian just said it'd be great to have some more. How do you think rugby league's going in Victoria?
Yeah, I think the clubs put their hand up and understood that they probably have felt a bit of a gap there, and they've really dove into I guess nurturing and setting up academies and pathways for more Victorians to get to the NRL, and ultimately just to play for the Melbourne Storm. I think there is a few Victorians out there playing, but not at our club, and would love them to be here at the Melbourne Storm. So yeah, I think it's a great sign, and it's a great show of faith that Sua's signed on for our club for a number of years, given his position, and so I think if we can get a few more, then that'd be great. But it's going to take time, and I think the club's doing all the right things at the moment.
In your time here, have you noticed things change in Melbourne much? What's life like for the captain of Melbourne, down in Sydney?
You do notice a bit of change in terms of more people following rugby league and supporting it, and I think from day one, Melbourne Storm have been very cautious of how they approach their manner and their business, considering we're an AFL country, and you want to make the right impressions and do it right, and we're always reminded about that from all our old boys, and they paved the way really and set that up, and it's important that we respect that and continue to grow that. And I think our group's doing that at the moment and doing a great job, especially with Frank Panisi leading the academies and all the pathways. So yeah, I think we never really lose touch of that, but it's important that we keep building that.
Harry, I might be jumping the gun here. You've only just been made Melbourne Storm captain, but if you were asked to be Queensland captain one day, is that something you aspire to, or something you'd say yes to?
Yeah, I think you're jumping the gun. I don't know. I never really thought about it, mate. Just got the role here, so I think it's something that I can learn from, and like I said, make sure I'm leaning on all the other leaders and players in the group, and ultimately just play well.
Obligatory Vegas question to finish. Putting your hand up for the Storm to go next year?
For sure. Yeah, we'll go.